We have on the topic transforming digital CX with Agentic AI, we have Mr. Shubham Bhardwaj, AVP Digital Transformation, the future enterprise from Accenture here with us. A quick intro about the gentleman. Well, he's a transformational business leader with deep expertise in digital strategy, operational excellence, AI-led innovation. As AVP Digital Transformation at Accenture, he leads enterprise-wide programs focused on hyper-automation, generative AI, and technology modernization, enabling organizations to achieve agility, scale, and measurable business impact. With a proven track record in global delivery leadership and consultative engagement, Shubham has steered complex transformation programs across industries, building high-performing teams and aligning operations with strategic vision. He's passionate about redefining the enterprise performance through emerging technologies and shaping the future of intelligent operations. So let's welcome Shubham Bhardwaj, AVP Digital Transformation, Future Enterprise from Accenture, to take over the stage, please. Let's have a round of applause from the audience. Everybody, come on. Let's give it up. And a very warm welcome. Over to you.
Thank you. I hope this is working. Yeah, it does. So, any Harry Potter fans here? Harry Potter. Any Harry Potter fan here? I'm a bit surprised. Yeah, a few of them. I'm sure most of us have heard about Harry Potter, right? Yeah. So there was, I think around 20 years back, there was a euphoria around Harry Potter. And the real beauty about Harry Potter was the way it created a magical world. Okay, the everyday objects around you turn magical. Okay. While Harry Potter had a lot of interesting characters, one minor character was Rita Skeeter. And she was a journalist. Now, while she was a journalist of a slightly dubious nature, okay, but what was really interesting about Rita was the pen she carried. Okay, so the way it used to work was, she will, while interviewing or while writing, she will just write a few sketches, a few basic lines, and then the pen will automatically put in the background context, put in the background story, and output a fully generated article for Rita. Does this sound familiar? What I just explained, does it sound familiar? Is it something which we have access to now? Right? ChatGPT, right? A lot of us have done this. Right? Where you input a few statements and lo and behold, you have a full-fledged article, PowerPoint, whatever you want. Now, what is interesting is that what was deemed as magic, maybe I think 15, 20 years back, is stuff we are now actually getting access to. So a lot of things which we thought will be magical, it's only in the magical world, you need a wand, you need a Dumbledore, you need a Harry Potter to switch their wands and make it happen. It's available to us. So that's the thing, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable magic. And that's where we are. We are at a stage that we are getting access to very, very powerful technology, which will seriously change the world around us. It will take time. Okay? No magic wand, unfortunately for us. It will take time, but it will have a serious impact on the world around us. Now, why CX needs agentic AI? So I'll just read out some things. 96% of customers who experience a high-effort service interaction become more disloyal compared to only 9% for low-effort experiences. 81% of customers say they want more self-service options and proactive service. And 71% of consumers expect companies to deliver personalized interactions. And interestingly, 76% get frustrated if you don't get it. Okay? So all these statistics, and these are industry research, and these are year after year, these are numbers which have to be taken seriously. Now, I'll very quickly run through it. I don't want to drain this one, but what is agentic AI? Okay. In essence, these are smart digital workers, okay, who know what to do. They can figure out how to do it and then actually go about doing it and ask for help in some very rare scenarios, very specific exception scenarios. Otherwise, they operate very autonomously. So, recently, I was looking for some support for my television. Okay? So, I had an issue with my remote, and I wanted the remote replaced. Very clear about what needs to be done. Okay? So, that's a leading brand we're talking about. A very leading brand, extreme, well-known brand here. I tried logging into their website. For some reason, even with the credentials in there, even with trying to forget password, nothing worked. It absolutely did not let me log in. Then I remembered, I had a similar requirement from them a few months back, and I had tried the WhatsApp channel. So I went to the WhatsApp channel. Now I'm very clear on what I need. I need my remote replaced. Okay, that's the clear message I'm giving. I don't want any help. I need my remote replaced. But the WhatsApp channel or whatever channel it was, it wanted to ask me around 20 questions. Okay, it took me through an entire questionnaire of, have you done that? Have you done this? Blah blah. Where do you live? Address, everything. And at the end of 20 odd questions, it finally said, I don't think I can help you. Let me arrange for a callback. Okay? Okay, fine. So, half an hour later, a gentleman called me up and he said, sir, I'm from XYZ brand and how can I help you? So it was a working day busy day, working day, and I just thought, let me maintain my patience. I said, have you gone through the entire 20 questions you made me answer? Okay. Oh, sir, let me go through it. Okay. Now I'm holding that phone. The call is on. And the gentleman goes through it, and finally he is able to help me out. Yeah, finally I got what I wanted, but the amount of friction in this entire process, just imagine, there are 3 channels, website, WhatsApp, a human talking to me, and there is friction across all of these channels. Okay? So when we talk of customer experience, things like, customer centricity, context, convenience, channel, consistency, communication. I am sure any of you guys who have been in the CX side of the world, you know it. It's been there forever now. There's nothing new about it, right? The core concepts remain the same. Okay. This is, you talk to any guy, I know this. They can in their sleep write these points. The challenge, however, is when the rubber meets the road. The friction, the effort required to orchestrate and make all this happen. Okay? That is when you run into those disparate systems, data being incomplete, the process is not supporting, the people not being trained enough, okay? Or the end-to-end thought not going behind the entire experience. So, and this is where Agentic comes in. Again, one very, while we, all of us have been talking about Agentic, I was in the past 2 sessions and Agentic was the hot topic. Important point is, Agentic is not the silver bullet for everything. It will not solve everything. If used properly, in a right manner with the right guardrails, it can solve a lot of things. Okay? That is a key message. It will not be like absolutely, 100% fixed for everything. Now, where does agentic specifically come in? What it allows you is to design systems which can respond dynamically to context and autonomous systems. We spoke about the entire effort to orchestrate this, right? The entire orchestration could actually be or largely be outsourced to bots. Okay, so that entire orchestration, the entire dynamic of going to multiple systems, getting data, getting the context, remembering the history, resuming from where the customer last left, providing him the most convenient information, having consistency across the multiple channels or at different times. I should have a consistent messaging, okay? Or ensuring the right communication comes through. This is something which agentic, a well-designed agentic solution can enable. Now, how do you actually enable agentic AI? Okay, which while we have been talking about the need to have well-designed agentic solutions, what does it actually take to do that? Now, I have been part of a lot of technology transformation, technology, non-technology transformations over years. And there's a lot of hypes which we have gone through. A lot of technology which have come, which have failed, not performed up to what we're expecting, actually exceeded what we're expecting. So what has been a key learning from all those transformation initiatives has been the how effectively do you design the solution around the problem you are trying to solve. Okay, so the entire design of it is extremely important. Now, to start with, design for journeys, not transactions. What is that effectively? See, agentic AI should not be designed as an automation of steps. These are the steps these are the steps required to achieve something, and this is what I'm trying to automate. I'm trying to maybe try to create those agents to do those steps. Okay? While it might in a way solve part of a problem, but again from an experience perspective, there will still be potential friction here. So what we talk about is when you design, and for a design is a very important aspect of a solution. Okay? When you design the solution, keep an end in mind. What is the customer trying to do? Okay? What are they trying to achieve? Where are they? What are they trying to achieve? That's the very important aspect of it. And think end to end. Okay? Don't leave them hanging. Okay, you have done 50% of what was required to be done. Now I'll hand over to somebody else, or now go somewhere else and do it. Okay, so a very important design end to end, and design with an outcome in mind. Second, again, and see, these are some of the things which agentic AI looks all jazzy. Okay, but end of day, you end up going to those foundations. Unless your foundations are sorted out, you will really struggle to deliver at scale. You might deliver a few use cases, successful use cases here and there, but to scale, scale across multiple customers, scale across multiple geographies, scale across multiple processes, you need those foundations to be in place. Clean data, the golden source of truth. Okay? And that's a challenge. Look at pretty much all AI, non-AI projects, the golden source of truth, and that still remains the same. You will have to solve your data problem, or at least largely solve it, because without it, you will not be able to design a scalable solution. So what is the most relevant data? If I am talking from a customer experience perspective, the touch points, what do I know about the customer, what are they trying to do, where are they, what is their profile, what are my systems, where is the data stored, all that. Very, very important part of this entire initiative. Again, going back to the foundation is modernized core systems and API access. Okay. I do kind of, attend a lot of online, offline sessions with the talk of Agentic AI. And they seem to sell that snake oil, that it will solve everything. Your core systems are no longer required, data does not matter, it will all work like magic, and you don't worry about it. Agentic AI is the magical solution. This is not true. You will need your core solutions, the core systems, the Workdays, the ServiceNows of the world to be in place and working well. Okay? And with those API accesses working to deliver what you want to deliver. Okay? In fact, when we are looking at our journeys, the journeys where I think there was a question, what are the journeys we want to focus on? The journeys we are focusing on is one, obviously the high value, where the high value is. Now that value could be dependent on your business. And second, where we have already an existing level of tech maturity, or I'll not say tech maturity, tech, process, people maturity to enable this. Okay? So those are the journeys which we specifically prioritize for Agentic AI. Again, robust content. Content is extremely important. The FAQs, the documentations, unless those are updated, those are there in multiple languages, you will really struggle to deliver. And a key part of our entire agentic journey is focusing on initiatives which get us that content. First, get the content sorted out, then let's test it out, let's create, let's mature it out, okay? And then we expose it to an agentic AI system. Align people and capabilities. See, no matter how agentic we want to go, okay, there will still be a people requirement there. People are not going anywhere. It's just the roles will change, okay? They will do different things, but they'll still be required to do things. What is important is that when you have a bunch of bots who are working autonomously, okay, suddenly the role of a human being maybe changes to more of a reviewer or a trainer for the bot, rather than being the front end of delivering that experience. Okay, how do you review? How do you train the bot? Or there'll be times where the human has to take over. Okay, not done. The bot is done with it. That's a time for the human to take over. So how do you align those roles and responsibilities? How do you align the training required for people? This is what you're expected to do in future. Governance and process, I'm sure you have heard about it. We have been through those. Very, very important part of this. And the last is the enabling technology stack. So from all of that, this is the, when we talk of the LLMs, we talk of the agentic models, that's the last piece. Sort out your foundations first, and then we talk of, hey, what's the agentic AI? Unless you sort of those things out, you will not be able to deliver at scale. And that's the key sauce we have found in our agentic successes. Whatever use cases we have which have been really successful, scaled up, are areas where our foundations have been strong. So I'll end with this last slide here. What does the future look like? Okay, is it all, is it absolutely transformative? Is it doom and gloom, or where does it sit? See, having been a part of this journey for some time, I'm personally very excited about it. Okay, there is so much of a transformation which is possible. As I mentioned, The start of the customer journeys. How do you drive customer experience? The future will be, there'll be an autonomous agent front-ending with the customer. Customer is interacting with them, refining those queries, getting inputs, asking secondary questions, driving multiple intents. Okay, so that is where the future would be. That you will have autonomous bots driving those experiences. But again, the foundations need to be sorted out. The next would be where you have agent-led. So they will be a part of the query, okay, which will be agent-led and human-assisted. Okay, I know this is the boundary what the agent can operate in. Beyond this point, a human needs to provide a queue. Human-led, agent-assisted. So there was a question from a gentleman, there will be some scenarios which have to be human-led. I want to talk to the agent. I want to talk to the human. I don't want to talk to a bot beyond a point. This is the classification here, where we talk specifically of, are there some, and the beauty is to identify what are those moments that matter. What are those moments where I would rather have a human-to-human interaction, that soft touch which a human can bring. Okay? What is that it will take to make happen? So those are the moments that matter. Okay. And I think this is the entire piece around the agentic here. As I will repeat myself here, agentic AI is not about technology. Okay. It's an exciting concept. It is not about technology. It is about your people. It is how do you train your processes. It is how you manage your data. Okay? And after all that layer has come, that's where the agentic AI will come into picture. So that's what I think a highly exciting area. A lot of opportunities with, again, a grain of salt. Okay? So that's it. I'll end my session. Any questions from anyone? Yes, please.
We'll have the mic, sir. 1 second.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation. I have a question around the governance and then the compliance part you slightly touch based upon. When the digital workers are increasing and human touch point is really getting minimized with agentic AI and then AI in place, right? So AI makes the decisions, right? So when it comes to the governance and then the compliance part of it, right? So from your point of view, how the future is going to be shaping up and how the organizations need to plan their AI governance in place, because there are biases that AI can make it, and at the same time we are seeing in reality as well. And a lot of the organizations, right, they started paying high penalties because of AI mistakes. So I know this is really exciting, but at the same time, the flip side of it, right, there are no strict governance or regulations in place to track the compliance point of view. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts around this.
The very short answer it will be complicated. Okay. Because there are so many things at play here. There are government regulations which are now already there, evolving. Okay, customer expectations, laws which are already in place, and there is accessing data. What kind of data these agents are accessing? Okay, so it will be complicated. Okay, from a perspective of what will it look like? Yeah, I think the only thing the organizations can do is ensure, as I said, the foundations, the data, the training sets are reliable. Okay, so that is, so like a lot of those use cases we talk about, we avoid accessing external data. because we don't have control over it. So this is data which we have a control of. We know this is fairly reliable, and it has gone through human check. Okay. So that is one part of it. Second, as I mentioned, in terms of the content refinement, the content, the FAQs, or the processes, okay, how you design those processes, that becomes very important.
Okay. Yeah, means fine-tuning and training the models.
Yes, the content specifically is important. See, the hallucination we have spoken about, and it happens, no matter how well designed solutions are, hallucinations happen. But then at a point you realize it has happened, it will happen, you probably come back and let's fix it. Okay. But there is no complete answer on it, there is no good answer to it, this is the absolute way to do it. It will evolve, as I said.
Yeah, thank you. Makes sense.
Yeah. We need a mic here.
Hi, Shubham. It's a very insightful session. Quick query about, have you adopted agentic AIs in governance of your services delivery projects within Accenture? Have you seen any kind of results, tools adoption, etc.? I would like to share any insights. Thank you.
Yes, we have. We are seeing good results there. Again, the only thing is that we are also a bit circumspect on how much we expose to the end user. Okay, a lot of those solutions are delivered. In a way, what we are also trying to do is maybe create a process where it is first used by our agents. Okay, so agents get exposure to it, and there's an opportunity for a human eye check. Okay, we are seeing over the past year itself, the accuracy, the coverage has, I would say, increased by at least 5 to 6 times. Okay, so good results, but still there is work to be done.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Shubham, for the wonderful, it's going on. I just have a small question for you. So as a agentic AI involves, we all know, it makes decision, it takes actions independently. What is the biggest risk you foresee in this entire game? Actually, we have just started agentic AI journey in our company. So I just want to take your views. What's the biggest risk you foresee?
I think biggest risk, see, when you build technology solutions, okay, over a period of time, teams figure out how to put those checks and balances. Yeah. Okay, you figure out how to do them. It might take time, but you figure them out. So some of those issues around the hallucination, around wrong, incorrect responses, we will figure out how to sort them in future. The risk is twofold. One is not going to the right use cases. Okay. That, it is not a use case fit for agentic AI, and just in the excitement to build those agentic solutions, we run into them. Second is the lack of investments into things like the process, people, and data. Okay. Again, we are running into a lot of those solutions without getting those foundations sorted out. As I said, in the people part, how will the people change? That's a risk, because right from perspective of not just people who are delivering, but the people who are consuming this. Okay, so that both of them are at risk here, because how do you ensure that one, our end customers, they end up using it in a way which it is meant to be. Okay. Second is the people who are required to deliver it, the train the solutions or the entire process, the data behind it, how well it is organized. Okay. It is easy to say, I will have a query, I want to generate an account statement. This is one of the customer journeys we were looking at. I want to generate an account statement. Okay. But behind it, there was so much which was happening. Okay. In the part of the format, which format you want it in, which date, what are the dates you want, where do I need to go and go to my systems, and what are the systems I need to look at. Okay. So this is in fact one of the journeys I am quoting, because we suddenly realized that While at the front end, it looks like this is an absolutely fit case to deliver agentic solution, or at least part of an agentic solution. But then from an execution perspective, the challenges on the back end, we realize it will not work. The systems were not geared for that kind of response time, which we're looking from agentic solution. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We can take questions during lunch because it's time for all of us to break for lunch. We'll take this last one.
Just have one quick question, just a thought. I'm from SPI Pharma. We are into manufacturing of pharmaceutical raw material. It's an ingredient for pharma medicines. We are into B2B. People are talking about AI. AI is something new or it's already there. We are very far for it because typical manufacturing industry we are from. My question to you is how sustainable these systems are, because we see a lot of tech solutions coming in and going. So is it how realistic or sustainable?
How sustainable these are? Interestingly, I'll tell you that a lot of the capabilities, at least 80% of the capabilities when we talk of AI, agentic AI, have been around for a good 5 to 10 years. Okay, so not, they have been there, 5 years, 10 years, those capabilities have existed. Okay. Only change which has recently come in is the scale at which those are now available. It has become easy to build those models. You have the tools, you have the infrastructure, because these are very high on infrastructure. Okay. You have the infrastructure, the clouds of the world, you have those tools where you can design it fairly quickly. You have existing frameworks where a lot of what you're trying to build is already there, and you are just maybe customizing from your perspective. Okay. So that has what has changed there, which makes me believe, yes, it is sustainable, definitely sustainable, but with a caveat. Sustainable in specific cases, not in all the cases.
Can I take the last question, please, if that's okay?
Yeah.
Yes. We'll take the last question.
You are the chatbot guy, right? The person who asked that chatbot question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, a very practical question, and this is kind of a project I'm myself doing. So we talk about use of agentic AI, and then we're talking about kind of getting the right things, right? And getting the right things first, right? So that it can be successful. So now my question is around the LLM and training the LLMs, right? We talk about data and we need a lot of data. So in today's, again, by your experience, what is the percentage ratio or the success ratio of the LLMs that can be trained? Now again, I'll come to your presentation where you said where agent hands over to the human, right? So now again, these are perfect scenarios when the next time such thing comes, the agent should be able to answer and respond by itself. And that's where the training happens, right? But again, these are just insights. If you have something, I just want to understand the success ratios of such LLMs that can be trained.
Hard to define, because see, it depends on your data. It depends on your data, it depends on your process. If your data is not up to mark, it will not even be 10%. I actually know of a certain process where we are at a 2% success rate. Okay. And I know of another process where we are at a 93%. It varies that much. Okay. See, the key piece around, as you said, when to hand over to the human. It should not always be, that, I have reached a point where now I need to hand over to the human. Okay. Yes, there will be a majority, maybe 80 to 90%, 95, probably 95% scenario, it will be like that, where either things are done by the bot or a human comes into picture at a certain point. See, the key is that, as I said, that coming to design again. See, if you are a mature enough player, you have the data, you have the customer data, you should know the moments which matter. Okay. That is, if you don't have that sense of data, if you don't have sense of your processes or your customer experiences, that these are the key moments, like a bereavement. Hey, bereavement, I don't want to talk to a bot beyond a point of time. Okay? So those from the very onset, and those could be depending on categories, those could be classification, those are fairly doable by the bot itself. You know, this is a moment, probably directly step one, classify, direct to the human user. Fairly, I think we have a fair amount of success there. The key is to know what your moments are, the key moments are, and then say, this is best handled at the very onset by a human being who has been trained to handle these situations. That's.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I request Pranav Kumar from Capgemini to kindly walk up to hand over the token of appreciation, please.